Hey everybody, Side Gig Guy here. I'm home safe and sound in Lithia Springs, Georgia. I'm back from my 3-day road trip, and I won't hold you in suspense. I'm going to go ahead and put up the card, and you can see that we did not make enough door dashing on our road trip to pay for our expenses in gas and hotels. But I did learn a lot from this road trip, and so I'm going to be making a future video that's going to be sharing my findings on exactly how to do a road trip using DoorDash to pay your expenses. And I've learned a lot about how the zones work and how the zones appear and when they disappear. I've learned a lot about dashing along the way, and so I'll be explaining that in a future video, so look for that. And then depending upon how many outtakes we have, we might do a whole blooper roll just on this road trip, because there were some funny things that happened on this trip, some unexpected ones. So we'll see how that works out. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what happened on day 3 of our road trip. So in Valdosta, before I had breakfast, I actually did some door dashing. I turned on the app and it was busy, so I said, heck, I'll dash. And I got about 6 runs in, I think, made about $40, and one of the customers even gave me a $5 cash tip, so I thought that was pretty cool. So after I finished dashing, I went back to the hotel, had breakfast, packed up my stuff, and then I headed out. So my destination today is Kingsland, Georgia. Kingsland, Georgia is east, actually, of where I was in Valdosta. In fact, it's so far east, it's pretty much to the ocean. If you look at it on a map, it is the furthest east and furthest south county in the state of Georgia. To give you some perspective of where Kingsland is, the next town to the south is Jacksonville, Florida. So it is the corner of Georgia. And you may ask yourself, well, what's out there? You're going the wrong way, Jeff. Home is up to the north and back to the west. You're going the wrong way. What are you going to do in Kingsland? Well, that has to do again with being on the bridge of the Enterprise. So my intention for day 3 was still to DoorDash. I had this huge deficit that I had to make up, and I figured I would dash everywhere that I could on the way to Kingsland, and then from Kingsland on the way back home. But what I discovered was between Valdosta and Kingsland, there was pretty much nothing. I was really in the middle of nowhere. In fact, at one point, I hadn't seen a car for about 20 minutes. So I stopped my car right in the middle of the highway, put it in a park. I got out and I walked around with my camera and just took some shots. It was unbelievable that there were no cars going in either direction on this road. There was nothing. There were no towns, there were no people, there were no houses, there was nothing. So door dashing was kind of a great big failure from Valdosta over to Kingsland, Georgia. Kingsland, Georgia is home to Neutral Zone Studios. Now you're probably starting to get the idea. Neutral Zone Studios is a 10,000 square foot movie studio fashioned exactly like the original Enterprise in Star Trek, the original series. They built this to scale so that it could look just identical and then use it for filming fan-based type series. In fact, the person who built it, it was his idea. He conceived it, and him and his team built it and put it together, and he funded it along with other people's donations. It's totally non-for-profit. His name is Vic Mignogna, and he actually plays James T. Kirk. So that's how I met James T. Kirk. Vic Mignogna was actually the one who gave us the tour of the studio. He showed us every room. He showed us the bridge, the engine room, sick bay, Kirk's quarters, conference room, and more. I mean, they had the real long hallway that has the Jeffries tubes, the turbo lift, everything, and it's all built to scale. And you can see I'm showing you a whole bunch of pictures that I took and little video clips. To have him actually give the tour was really kind of special too. He's a voice actor by trade, but it was kind of his dream to finish out the original series. You know, the original Star Trek series was canceled after only 3 seasons, but they were on a 5-year mission. So all the episodes that he created in the studio, he called Star Trek Continues. And you can watch them on YouTube. What they do is they kind of fill in the gaps on some of the things that were missing from the original series. They answered some questions like, for example, in the Mirror Mirror episode, which is real popular. That's where they went to the alternate universe. What does happen in the mirror universe, when the other Kirk comes back and meets the bearded Spock, what happens in the mirror universe immediately thereafter? So that's how I spent a good portion of day 3. And that's another good reason why we really couldn't make a lot of money. I didn't make any money getting out to this place. And then it was about noon by the time my tour was over. So just went ahead and deadheaded straight back to Atlanta. So we only made that $44 in Valdosta, and that's it. But like I said, I will make another video about how to use DoorDash to make a road trip, because I think I figured it out from this series. I really appreciate you watching, and if you like these videos, make sure to leave something in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and also subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that as well. Thank you.